What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. In this one, we're going to show you how we built this roof. We're going to be setting beams, we're going to be setting rafters, and we'll show you the whole thing. So make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned. Lightweight. This is a lot bigger than the normal beam that we use, so we went ahead and rented a genie lift. Get these up in no time? What do you say? Unless you want to just do it by yourself. Strength of a lion, heart of a baby. All right. Genie time. All right, so we got the beam up here, and we rented this genie lift to assist us with getting this thing up in the air because it's about 400 pounds, and you can see it's freaking huge. It's pretty ridiculous. So we're gonna get it up on these forks, hand crank it up, and hopefully it should be pretty easy. This is a big one. Yeesh.
It's rubbing against this.
Whew. I don't know why I'm sounding like I'm tired, because I ain't really doing anything. Just kind of watch.
So strong.
Being very helpful. I'm here if anybody needs it. More of a, it's a 3-person operation with this beautiful piece of machinery. I'm glad we rented it. 90 bucks for a whole day. Not bad.
Yeah, I got room.
I gotta be in charge of safety here. If I'm in charge of anything, gotta make sure all my troops make it back home tonight. And the materials. And this rental machine. It was like a little tilted. I wasn't super comfortable with that. But hey, we got it up. And
Nobody's tired.
nobody's tired. I'm a little tired. Me? I seem tired?
Yeah.
I'm not tired. I've been up since 4:45. Good rental choice here. I'm glad we got that. Do you think we would have been able to get it up without it?
Yeah.
I believe them, but I would have been very nervous. But man, this thing worked like a dream. Like a genie. Oh yeah, I think you're supposed to put those stabilizer arms down. So we got our beams up yesterday, and now we're getting ready to frame out our roof and get rafters up in the air. So what we had to do was put this triple 2x8 across our front span. Instead of doing a concealed hanger here, we're gonna be building out our posts anyway. So basically just did a jack stud on each end. Got our triple beam up there. Now, this 2x roughly in the middle of the deck. This is just gonna be a temporary support because we're gonna be building our gable pin over top of this, putting our ridge rafter in, and then we'll start setting rafters. So there is gonna be a fireplace here. We're still figuring out the exact layout of that. So for now, just putting in this temporary support so we can get this thing up in the air. Not gonna have any bowing of this big beam. We get a lot of questions on this connection from our framing to our 6x6 posts. So we have this tripled end joist, and that is essentially acting as a beam to carry the load of this post down to our deck beam, down to our footing. So we have our strap gun here. We just have a 6x6 post base connector, and we have lagged that down to the deck with some 4-inch GRK screws. And now we just use our little strap shot. Boom, boom. So that's gonna tie everything together. On the top side of this post to our beam, we're gonna have a huge strap that ties them both together. Because it's a 16-inch beam, we want a really good connection between post and our LVL. You can see how the nail head of this sticks out from the gun. A little bit different than a traditional nail gun. That's so you can line up your nail with the hole in the connector. Makes it super easy. Boom. And we typically set these temporarily with a screw. Take that screw out. Boom! Ridge rafters up in the air, supported by that pin on the outside. Now we start setting some rafters. I'm gonna be on the ground, handing them up to the guys. We've got Ant handling the ridge. We've got Tom on this side, Jose over there. Let's get it done. All right, I'm gonna show you real quick how we figured out these rafters, how we find our angles, and how we mark this out so that they all go up and everything works out beautifully. First thing that we need to do is mark out our ridge cut on this. We're using a 2x8 rafter, and we're doing a 4-pitch roof. So we just have our speed square. Check this out. First thing that we need to do is mark out our ridge cut. So this is a 4-pitch roof. And the one part that can be a little bit confusing with this, you have your hip and valley marks here, and then you have your common rafter marks here. So they're a little bit different. This is a common rafter, and we're doing a 4-pitch. So we just pivot our speed square so that our 4 mark is lined right up with the edge of our lumber. You can hold that. Now we've got our ridge cut marked out. I'll cut this, then I'll show you how we figure out the rest of our rafter and our bird's mouth cut. What we need to do to figure out our overall rafter length is take our overall measurement from outside of beam to outside of beam. We have 233.5. That's our overall run. We need to divide that in half because it's going to be an A-frame roof, and then we need to subtract the thickness of our ridge itself. So if I divide this by 2, 233.5, that equals 116 3/4, and then I need to subtract half the thickness of the ridge. So that gives us 116 for our run. Now you can put this into any type of online roof pitch calculator or a construction calculator app. All you're gonna need to do is put in 116 as your run, and then you'll put in your pitch. In our case, that's a 4. So what that spit out for us was 122.25 is my rafter length. So I have my cut at the ridge. We've got 122.25. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. Put my speed square right on this mark, pivot out to a 4. So that right there, that's the outside of our wall. We need to cut a bird's mouth in this. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna measure up 1.5 inches. Flip your speed square around. A good thing to remember about roofs and most carpentry in general, everything's based off of 90 degrees. So once I have this angle, my back cut is gonna be 90 degrees off of that. So I'm gonna line up my speed square with our 4-pitch, and then just mark the back side of it. Boom, there is our bird's mouth. So that's our rafter cut. This is gonna be the outside of the wall, and what I need to do now is just determine our soffit overhang length. We're gonna do 12 inches, so you're gonna want a framing square for this portion. Framing, we got our L-shaped piece of metal with numbers on it. We have our metal L tape measure. So for this portion, I'm gonna use the framing square so I can get this full measurement. We're gonna line it up with our 4-pitch. Mark out 12 inches, that's our soffit overhang. Make a mark there. We'll flip it around again, line it up with that mark. Time for a new framing square. This thing's a little crazy. Line that up with our bottom mark, finish that line, boom. There is our rafter. This line, not gonna cut that. We're gonna cut out our bird's mouth. We're gonna cut this, cut that. So once we have this cut out and this is lifted up at a 4-pitch, our mark here is gonna be plumb with the ground.
Check it out.
Remember last time I cut them a little bit too tight and a little bit too shallow? Ant wasn't happy. Make sure to go a little bit deeper this time. He knows what I'm talking about.
Good cut right.
Well, that's it for this vlog. We got our rafters up, we got our beams up, and on the next vlog, we're gonna show you how we sheathe this thing, collar ties, ceiling joists, and the cricket, which is gonna shed water that's created by the valley between these two roofs that are now next to each other. So make sure you hit subscribe, stay tuned, and until next time, this is Premier Outdoor Living.